He has risen, baby girl.
What's up, everybody? And oh my goodness, Jesus has risen. We are back. So don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, folks. We're going for something crazy, and the videos, they're just gonna be going out like Gatling guns, people. Does that make sense? I don't care. Bros, I am excited, and today we are talking about the new Doctor Who. What's going on? What's all the information? What do we know? What don't we know? Let's just dive right into it. Thank the Lord. The BBC have announced that Doctor Who will be back on our screens for Christmas 2026. Now, I know that sounds like a long time, but you have to keep in mind there is a spin-off releasing between then and now, which means it's technically not a year-long gap. I mean, it wasn't as bad as when we were in the Chibnall era. That's not an excuse to hate on the Chibnall era, people. I'm just saying that the gaps between the series back then were pretty damn long. And they really were. And this is a big one. I'm not gonna lie, this is a big one, but we're getting it back. So I really couldn't care less. It gives a bit of time for people to settle down after the reality war. I feel like this new episode, considering it's not going to be with Disney, it's not going to be a reboot, so it's not going to be a breath of fresh air, but we're going to have to be introducing a new Doctor because Billie Piper is not going to stay for a series, okay? So there's going to have to be some shenanigans happening. I wonder if David Tennant will come back. I'm not holding my breath. I'm going to be real. I don't think so. But there is a world where that happens, where the 14th Doctor and the 16th Doctor were Rose. I think Jane Tranter confirmed that she was Rose. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff going around, and to be honest, I'm just over the moon. They can really do anything, and I'm happy, because keep in mind, folks, I thought they were gonna do nothing. I thought the show was just donezo. So when someone says, actually, we're coming back, and there's gonna be a new series, bros, I'm not picky. I'm over the flipping moon. And I think that's something which I would hope a lot of people also feel, which is you can't really be entitled to a lot when the alternative is just straight up nothing. And I know there'll be a lot of people who are like, oh, I really want nothing, but I really don't. I really disagree with you. I really don't want nothing. I want more Doctor Who. I really like this show. And so I am so glad that it's still going, that it's coming back for the run back, because honestly I kind of need it too, man. This shit means something to me. So yeah, Russell T Davies is still at the helm, although I imagine it's going to be vastly different to everything that came before. First of all, he's got all the feedback. I know some people like to pretend that writers live in their own dot and bubble where they can't hear anything that I was saying. They hear, bro. And so they are gonna do things differently. It's not gonna be the same, and literally it's not gonna be the same because Disney aren't there. I said in my past video that Disney didn't actually have as much creative control as people probably thought they did. They still had creative control. There was still a bunch of producers, a bunch of suits, a bunch of meetings where they were putting their stamp on the product, because that's just how this shit works, man. And so things are going to be fundamentally different. The approach is going to be fundamentally different. The health of the show is going to be reflected in the storylines that it takes. Now, that's not me saying blah 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 is going to happen or blah 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 is going to happen. I have no clue what's going to happen, but I do know that it's going to be different. And so you can't really talk about all the previous RTD2 era episodes and then say that that's what it's going to be like. And this is coming from someone who liked RTD2. So I'm more than a bunch of you guys. I am just so in. But I do think a lot of you guys should give it a chance, because it is going to be different and it's going to be coming from a different creative place. And who knows where you're going to be 2 years into the future when this next series comes out. I mean, it's probably more like a year and a half, but still, a lot can change in a year and a half. My life is going to be completely different by then. I already know it. And I am just so excited. I really am in. But what's interesting, of course, is not only that, but the war between the land and the sea, which will act as that filler thing, that thing that will keep us tided over. I know a lot of people won't watch it. I will though, so it'll keep me tided over. Do you get it? Tided, funny. But it just means that gap isn't quite as long as it will inevitably end up feeling. I really want to know what's going on behind the scenes, because I was looking through the old production dates and bro, we have just been told nothing. Radio silence for like half a year, and it has just been miserable. I do think that this period between the reality war and now is probably the worst time to be a Doctor Who fan ever. It's just been so unbelievably depressing, which is what makes this news so welcome. That said, I've got an article from Deadline, which it's a bit of a weird one. So we're talking about Disney pulling out now. We knew that Disney were going to pull out. We just knew it was a matter of when they would announce it. My theory is that they pulled out right after Space Babies came out, that episode just didn't do well. When they put in millions and millions of dollars, these big companies, they don't really care about if they make their investment back at the end of the day. They care about massive returns immediately. And so I'm pretty sure that since early 2024, Disney have basically just been quietly, yeah, we're out. In my opinion, that's what I think. But it was weird because we didn't know how honest the production team were being about it. The consistent line was, we'll tell you when we know. And in retrospect, that looks like it might be true, because they're telling us now, which presumably now is when they know, and so they're telling us at the first point because it's a random Thursday. No, it's a Wednesday, but you know, I'm close, and the news is just dropping out of nowhere. But at the same time, it's kind of difficult to take what they say at face value because they literally lied about Shutagawa to our faces and expected us to believe that. It's kind of an interesting thing. Man, it was a sad time. But yeah, Disney have pulled out officially. I think they've been out unofficially for a long time, but in my opinion, good riddance. I know some people might see this as a bad thing. For me, bros, I never got a good feeling about them being around. They were always stinking up the gaff. I'm not as big a hater of Disney as a lot of other people are. That said, I don't like big American companies being involved in my little Doctor Who. You can criticize the BBC all you want, but Doctor Who belongs with the BBC. It just does, man. It won't be Doctor Who if it isn't. And so even though it might seem like a bad thing, and technically the Disney deal is not complete because War Between the Land and the Sea is between it, blah 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 blah, I am glad that they're stepping away. I think it's a fair thing, and we can both wave at each other and say goodbye. We end on good terms. Disney, you guys, we're still cool, but we're happy to go on just with the BBC. Of course, this probably means that the series length will be dropped to 6. Or, alternatively, we just don't go up to 4K, which I don't know why we were wasting so much money doing that, to be honest. But either way, I'm willing to take the hit, bite the bullet, just to be rid of them. Speaking of which, it's interesting, this Deadline article, it says that each episode was estimated to cost £10 million. I'm pretty sure this figure's been debunked like a billion times. But even still, they are right in that the viewing figures for series 15, I mean 14, but especially 15, I mean, goddamn, bro, they are dire. It's almost like releasing at 8 in the fucking morning's the worst business idea of all time, but maybe though. Hopefully this also means that Doctor Who can release at a reasonable time, like 6 PM, 7 PM, like any time where people might actually be watching. And of course it means storyline wise, we can resolve a bunch of these loose threads and hopefully move forward. That's the main thing I'm wanting. The title of this video is talking about Doctor Who Season 3, and I think the big question on everyone's mind is, will this be Russell T Davies' last? I think so. I mean, maybe. I think Russell T Davies was brought back to the show because he knew that it kind of needed a bit of help, and it still kind of needs a lot of help. So if I were him, I would be reluctant to give it up. But also at the same time, it's such a headache and a mindfuck and so tiring. Like, I wouldn't blame him for saying, you know what, I'm fucking out. Especially with everyone online just crying and whinging and moaning and calling him all these names for just trying to make the best job he can. Like, even if you really didn't like RTD2, when you bring in morals and you start moralizing and like talking about him as a person, that shit is so fucking cringe, man. I'm so done with that shit, just in general. It's my least favorite thing about the media landscape today and social media and everything. Everyone tries to make it all moral arguments whether or not you like the latest series of Doctor Who or not. Like, come on, bruh. But even still, I could see him staying for a 4th season, and I could see him leaving at series 3. What's funny is that this might mean he might actually get to resolve the Susan story arc, which was intentionally left unsaid by Carol Ann Ford when she did several interviews over the past 2 weeks. I think she did 2 or 3, and she intentionally did not give away the storyline, which will probably be brought back now, which is interesting. Do you just drop that? I mean, I feel like you should just do new stuff, you know what I mean? Who cares about the plan? The plan has been thrown out the window, bros. Let's just make the best series we can, or at least that's what I hope. The question then arises, what's gonna happen next? If I'm being real, my dearest wish is I just want modern Doctor Who to go to 26 years. That's all I want. We have 6 years left. Can we make it? If we make it to 26, it's fine by me, okay? That's a win. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm not a seer. I can't look into the future. That said, I know people are gonna scream and shout in the comment section. I really feel like Pete Matigue is climbing up to be the heir and successor of Doctor Who. I don't know. I can just sense it. I can smell it. He's climbing up the ranks, bros. I feel like he might be the next showrunner. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, series 3. What could the storylines be? Hopefully, we've got a new Doctor. Hopefully, we don't have a series where they bring back Omega the Rani or anything like that. And hopefully, we stick to more episodic storytelling. I know everyone is so obsessed with the serialized, oh, one series becomes a whole arc. And to be honest, if they did make that, I would probably be fine with it. I'd be a slightly bit disappointed though, because it worked with Flux, because Flux is a COVID season. I don't actually want to wait 2 years for one story. I want to wait 2 years for a series. And RTD2's speciality, its best episodes have been these episodic ones. Dot and Bubble, Boom, 73 Yards, Hell Rogue, man, Lux, all of these great stories, the episodic ones are the best bits. The worst, absolute worst parts of RTD2 have been these overarching story episodes. So just drop that shit, man. I feel like I've been saying this for a decade, but just focus on the good ass stories, man. You've got it. I know that people like me are cheering you on behind the scenes and in front of the scenes and making videos about how awesome, swag, epic you are, because we love you, bro, and we love the show. I am just so happy. I think that's what I've been missing. If you've been following the channel, you know that although I am naturally pessimistic, I always want to be optimistic, and I just need that spark of hope, man. It really keeps me going. And so to have this news, even if it comes out of the blue, I don't care, man. I just needed it, and it's just amazing. After the long dark night, it's time for the sun to rise. And so what do you guys think? What do you think's gonna happen next? What do you think the Christmas special is gonna be about? What do you think the next series is gonna be about? Do you have any thoughts on the Disney deal, on everything, on Rusty Davies? I mean, I love the guy, but I know that everyone's got stuff to say about RTD2 and everything. Whatever you wanna say, leave it in the comments down below. I read every comment, bros. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. The videos, they're gonna be coming out like crazy, bro. And a special thanks to everyone who helped support the channel. Tom, Cardboard Oracle, Silver Safi, Bunny, Zoom, Dr. Hoomst, Jack D. Murray, Vorschkorm, The Instinct, Kai Keller, Renegade Time Lord 97, Manny, Eric, Ren, Poop Criminal, Diego, Theta, Dark Tranquil, Chicky, No More Flippin', 6 Dr. Fan 84, Comfy Glitch X, Harry, Sanyu, Amara God, Noah T, T Mara, Dobcool, Casual Log, E West, Christian Rothfuss, Unreal Dinnerbone, Aidan Davies, Reef Edwards, Space, Amber Knight, KCKC, Snarly, Connor Bell, Ertle the Turtle, Andrew Locke, Bill Fleming, Hush, Wasabi, Jessica, Kai M, Kylo Wade, Mel, Owen, Toby-Wan Kenobi, Sophie in the Sky, Goldfish, Johnny, Anthony Lentz, Fuchsia the Jester, Benzuko Lives, Freddie, Ross, JRW, Ethan, Hiroki, GBZ, Cine Curious, Max the Epic Man, Stephen, Only Son AFK, AJ, Andrew Sherburn, Table Printador, Mystic Shorty, Clown Car, Jules, Ollie Pixon, ItZ5, Moth, Humanoid Gaming, Swaro, Philippe, Nick, Kastretch, Just Tim, and Teddy Bite. With all that said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!